Hello everyone, Barbara Ann here for Wednesday the 24th of May, midweek reflection. Well, what's been going on in the world? Well, very much close to home is the General Assembly for the Church of Scotland, the highest court within the church. And it's pretty much gloom and doom at the moment. They're saying that we have approximately 1,000 churches. We have an average of 60,000 people in the whole of Scotland who worship each Sunday. Now that's not membership, that's just those who attend worship, because numbers have certainly not come back since COVID and lockdown. So that's averaging 60 people on a Sunday. Some churches I know only get 3 or 4 people on a Sunday. Other churches way more, well into the hundreds. So that's just an average. Now, before I go any further, I must apologise. This is now my 4th cold in the matter of 4 months, maybe 5 months. And this one I'm definitely blaming on my grandchildren. So excuse my voice just not being the way it normally is. So a bit of gloom and doom there. Now the problem, of course, is that our church buildings are getting old and much, much older. Lots of things are going wrong with them. It's a huge amount of money for the upkeep of them. The churches that are more well off are heavily subsidising the churches that are less well off because they don't have enough people going to them. Their money's not there. You know, there's numerous reasons. And we don't begrudge that because we are one of the churches that definitely helps the churches that don't have enough income. And that's our job to do that. And I have no issue with that. However, keeping churches open with dilapidated buildings and only a handful of people going when they've got another church maybe not that far from them, well, to me that makes common sense. But it's upsetting a lot of people. In addition to that, we then have, of course, ministers. Ministers are retiring, and over the next 5 to 10 years, there are a huge amount of retiring. So we have to consolidate the congregations so that ministers can do their job and to do their job properly. At the current time, I have Eastern Dole Church, I have Inverarity Church, and I'm interim moderator at Monyfeith Church. And I'm not alone in that. There is so many ministers doing so many jobs at this present time. And the other problem is, of course, that volunteers, less and less people are volunteering for the roles that are needed to be done in the church. We need people to step up and try and become more like lay preachers, or just with the help of their ministers. I'm sure that can be accomplished. And I'm delighted to see that one of my members has agreed to attend inter-moderator training so that she can help out when a church is without a minister. So that's good. The good thing that I found already from the General Assembly this week, and there's always a good thing, is that the ecumenical partners have been speaking. And it's about all the churches in all the areas trying to work together. Not this church does that, that church does that. If we could all work together, what a difference that would make. It really, really would. I know it would be quite difficult in some situations, but if you work at it, and then we're here to help the communities. So that was the good point, really pushing for ecumenical workings. So that was that. So then I thought, what else has been happening in the world? Well, where do I start? Just yesterday, Cardiff riots on Monday night. Now, I'm not too sure why they were rioting, but all I know was that they started rioting, then they set fire to people's cars. Now, these people have worked hard to buy their cars, and they're just setting fire to them, you know, throwing fire bombs at the police. And I mean, again, I don't really know why they were rioting, but that's definitely not the way to get anything in this world. It's really not. So I was pretty horrified. In fact, my words were, what's wrong with these people? Because to me, there has to be something wrong when you go out in the dark of night with balaclavas on and start throwing petrol bombs and torching things. Yeah, I think I'm getting old, folks, because I just don't understand that. I really, really don't. So then the next thing after that on the news was the vaping. Now, I know lots of people are against vaping. Other people say it's to help them get off of the cigarette, the nicotine. However, the report just the other day stated that the vaping, some of the vaping materials that you get are absolutely toxic, and they're doing far more harm than what cigarettes are. And of course, it's the young people. They're being earmarked. You know, the vaping thing that they have, well, it's geared up to attract younger people. So, and I thought the kids now know how bad these vaping things are, but they're still doing it. And I just think, is it me? I don't know. But I just thought, oh, here we go again. And then, of course, in the news this week again, Madeleine McCann. Now, I really feel for her parents. I mean, it was awful that she disappeared all these years ago, and it's a long time ago now. But now, of course, they're going to dredge the reservoir, and that's the authorities of the German police who are sure that they have the culprit for it. But they are going to look at that, and so I feel for the McCann family. But then again, you know, I've always felt for them because I don't really believe in conspiracy theories. That's just not my thing. It's just not me. And people were saying that, you know, they murdered their own child. I mean, well, I can't get that round my head either. But everybody, of course, is allowed their opinion. And then, of course, if I just touch on politics, all this hoo-ha about Suella Braverman, I mean, to me, again, I'm not a conspiracy theory. To me, I think she was just looking for a quicker and easier way to do the penalty that she had to do. And when she couldn't get that done, she paid the fine and took the penalty. They're calling for investigations, or who's going to pay for that? How much money does that cost? Dominic Raab, he was the other one in the news just the other day there. He's now no longer going to be seeking re-election. Well, that's absolutely fine, because let's be honest, are the cases of bullying true or are they not? I don't know. But bullying, of course, really is a no-no. And then Margaret, what's her name? Margaret Ferrier in Scotland for the SNP. She should have been sacked. I mean, really? Travelling about at the height of COVID in trains and everything else like that? I'm sorry. Other people lose jobs for much less things. So I really think she should have been sacked. So there we go. That's what's been in the news. However, let's turn it around. That's all the rubbishy things that are going on. There is some great things going on in the news also at this time. I think the biggest thing that I saw, well, no, two things. It's the three dads. I've written their names down. Tim, Andy and Mike. The three dads who have walked the length and breadth of Britain and have done so much to raise awareness for suicide because all their three daughters committed suicide. Since I've been in Forfar, there have been a number of suicides, and it's always very, very difficult for the families and the friends, and even for the ministers or the celebrants who take these services. It's just an awful situation for everyone. But you just don't know what's going on in someone's head. So it was good to see these three dads meeting lots of different people, the influence they now have, and the fact that things are progressing about educating young people, because it is predominantly young people. So that was good to hear and see. And then, of course, last week, the best news was, for me, seeing Kevin Sinfield and Rob Burrows. They both ran the Leeds Marathon. They ran the Leeds Marathon. And, of course, he was in his pushchair, he was getting pushed along, absolutely exhausting for him, and it was Rob doing the pushing. And then just before they crossed the finishing line, Kevin lifted Rob out his chair and walked over the line with him. Now, Kevin has raised in excess of 7.5 million. I mean, it really is, it's more than that now. But on top of that, the artist, and I've written his name down, it's Charlie McKeskey. He has done a drawing which he has made into prints, which he's going to sell at £30 if you wish to buy one. And then, of course, £20 of that is going to MND for everyone sold. and the image is of Kevin carrying Rob over that finishing line. What a friendship. Do we have a friend like that? Do we have anyone in our lives that would do something like that for us? Well, I believe firmly that in following Jesus, we do so much to help so many people. And in East and Old, we do it in our community, and we're really grateful to Asda for all the school uniforms they've just given us that we can give away free. I'm also grateful for Susan Forbes, who brought us the attention of our Ukrainian paper flowers, which were made by prisoners, and then all the money is going to a charity where they're going to buy arts and crafts for children in Ukraine to express their feelings of what's been going on. It's a therapeutic idea. So that's been also super as well. And next week in your reflection, I'm hoping Isabel, who is one of our elders and is our Christian Aid representative, I'm hoping she's going to be giving you an update on Christian Aid Week, which has just finished this week. So that's just a little touch of some of the things that have happened in this last week or so. So yeah, we've got all the news which isn't so good, but there is so much good in this world. And I firmly believe that churches do a vast amount of that good work. So all I want to say in finishing off is keep up the good work. God bless everyone.